Just waiting on Crystal. Everyone, welcome to the special magistrate hearing for February 22nd, 2022. If you wish to speak today, please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing? Thank you. Please silence all electronic devices.
Good morning. Our first case is on page 4. Inspector Bernstein Sambert, case number CE 211-00908, case address 5180 Northwest 12th Avenue, owner RMC Real Holdings LLC. The property was posted on 2/1/22 and posted at City Hall on 2/10/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Officer Bernstein, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 211-00908. Property address 5180 Northwest 12th Ave. This property was inspected for our area project on October 27, 2021. And the citation following violations were 47-2111A. The landscape on the swell is not being maintained. There is dead and or missing grass on the swell. Due to noncompliance on February 2nd, 2022, the notice of hearing was posted on the property. A pre-hearing inspection revealed the following violation is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows the violation as depicted. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Robert Cohen.
Okay, Mr. Cohen, are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 28 days?
I'd like to present some information as well that I think is relevant.
Certainly.
So no dispute over the condition of the property, and I absolutely want to bring it into a nice condition. The problem is that on the north side of my building where this is located, there is absolutely no sunlight whatsoever. I have a letter from an arborist saying that sod will not grow in that area. So what I would like to do is either put gravel down in that area, or even better, I'd be willing to invest and actually asphalt that over and correct the problem forever. I have been attempting to work with the city with regards to permitting and whatever. I don't know how to do this.
Okay.
I've got a list of emails of me trying to follow up, trying to get to the right person to speak with, and thus far I've been unsuccessful. It's been a slow process. I'm sure you guys are are kind of jammed up with many of me. So I'm trying to work through that process.
Okay,
Funds are available and I'm ready to go. I just need the city's help.
okay, can the inspector tell him what his options are to bring the property into compliance?
Repeat that one more time, Judge.
Can you tell him what his options are, bringing the property into compliance? Can he asphalt? Can he do all that?
All that depends on the building department. They would have to give him the approval to do that. So he would have to submit a permit of what he wants to do on the swell. If he wants to gravel it, or he wants to pave it, he would have to submit the permit, and either the building department is going to approve it or not. That's not up to code enforcement to decide.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
okay, all right. So, what I'll do is, I'm gonna give you, 42 days to bring the property into compliance. And hopefully then, you could submit whatever permit you decide, if you want asphalt or whatever, and that will give you time to hopefully get it approved. If it's not approved, but you're acting diligently and you've got it in the system, you can always request an extension and we'll consider it.
Okay.
But for right now, I'm gonna give you 42 days to bring the property into compliance. Don't let that time run, because then fines will start to accrue.
Yeah, no, it's working, so I'm trying.
Okay, I understand. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thank you for your help.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 44. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 21030735. Case address 2648 Northwest 26th Street. Owners Dorothy and Eugene Moore. This case was first heard on 7/29/21 to comply by 8/19/21. Two sections complied at $25 per day. $3,600 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE to 1030735 in reference to the property 2648 Northwest 26th Street on behalf of the previous Officer Fetter. This case was first heard on July 29, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. Reinspection was performed by Officer Fetter on November 1st, 2021, and found the property had complied with all requirements issued by the city. This time, the city is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $3,600.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Eugene Moore Jr.
Okay, can you tell me why it took so long to bring the property into compliance?
Well, I missed the first hearing, and I came in during maybe like 3-4 days after I got a letter saying that I missed the hearing. I came in. You actually gave me an extension. You said you was gonna hold everything and give me an extension to do it.
Right?
So, and everything got done before the time that you gave me.
Okay, but it looks like it was out of compliance for 72 days.
No. You gave me an extension for about that long. So I came in like maybe 2 or 3 days after I got the letter. You gave me an extension. You say you're gonna put a hold on the charges, and
Yes, but you were supposed to comply by August 18th.
no, I can't. No, you gave me to November. You gave me to like November 1st. I came in. You gave me to November 1st.
Okay, there seems to be a discrepancy. My records say that you were supposed to comply by 8/19.
Do you have on your records when I came in?
Granted after that?
I think the interesting part, Your Honor, Portia Williams, Assistant Director for Development Services. So I am seeing a comply by date on the agenda of November 1st. That's what's annotated next to the violations. But I also see the comply by date of August 19th, so I'm inclined to believe what the property owner is saying because that's what the agenda is reflecting.
Oh, yeah, now I see
Katrina,
the
turn your mic on, I can't hear you.
I apologize. The date next to the violations is the compliance date, the date that it complied.
Yeah, but I like I said,
But I'm gonna check the record now.
Okay,
I came in maybe like, it was like 3 or 4 days afterwards. It wasn't even that much. So then you put a stop on it. You say you're gonna put a
Okay,
stop on the
she's
charge.
checking that, because maybe my docket is wrong.
Okay, no problem.
If we can recall the case, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Do you mind being patient with us a little bit? Just, we'll recall the case as soon as she has a chance to research what you're saying, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Our next case is on page 9, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 211-00841. Case address 2549 Southwest 7th Street. Owner Giselle Felix. Personal service was given to this property on 2/10/22 and posted at the property on 2/10/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-00841. Reference to property 2549 Southwest 7th Street. This property was initially cited on October 26, 2021 by previous Inspector Fetter for the following violation. 47-21.9.K. Decorative stone or gravel is being utilized at this location in excess of the maximum 10% of the total landscape area. The whole property is covered in decorative rock or gravel. A reinspection of the property was made on February 18, 2022, and found that the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. Contact was made with the property owner, Ms. Giselle Felix, who advised that she's in the process of getting the yard covered with grass. The city at this time is requesting 112 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record.
Giselle Felix.
Are you in agreement with the 112 days to bring your property into compliance? Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you.
All right.
We're going to recall the case on page 44 with Senior Inspector Garcia for 2648 Northwest 26th Street. Your Honor, the case was given an extension and then it complied timely. So this case is basically withdrawn and closed with no fines.
Okay,
We apologize.
you're done. Case is withdrawn. You were correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, sir.
Our next case is on page 8, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 21060968. Case address 1628 Southwest 3rd Avenue. Owners Wayne and Kathy Schofield. Property posted 2/10/22. Posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 2106-0968 in reference to the property 1628 Southwest 3rd Ave. This case was initially cited by previous Officer Fetter on July 1st, 2021 for the violation 47-21.9.M. Sections of this vacant lot have no lawn cover as required. A reinspection of the property was made on February 10th, 2022, and as the photos depict, the property remains in violation. Contact has been made with representatives of the property, of which it was stated that they are working to submit permits to build warehouses, but nothing's on file for the city as far as permits. Given the findings, the city is requesting 42 days to comply or a fine of $50 thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
Wayne Schofield.
Okay, and what's the issue with this property? Are you planning to build on it, or?
Yes, we have the plans. Architect is right here. He can.
Please speak into the microphone so that I can hear you.
Yes, my name is Edward Russell. I'm the architect for the project. We are in the process of doing, the set of drawings. We already
Okay,
passed-
speak into the
We
microphone.
already passed the preliminary DRC for this. The building is gonna be 3 small warehouses in the area, but we need more time to prepare. all
How
the
much
plans.
time are you asking for?
We need a minimum 60 days.
Okay. Does the city have any problem with 63 days?
So, I don't have a problem with the 63 days, but I would like to request a reappearance for the 63rd day, which is
Sure.
April 28th, 2022, given the fact that they're trying to construct on this property and we're going after them for the missing ground cover, so.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna give you 63 days to bring the property into compliance, and a fine of, did you say $50 a day thereafter?
Yeah, 50 thereafter.
Okay, all right, and that should give you enough time to sort things out.
I have the drawings here. You want to see what we're planning?
No, I'm gonna take your word for it that there's a plan in place, but I'm gonna order you to reappear on my, April 28th docket so we can check on the progress.
Okay, I will be here.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 3. Captain Robert Kasarwich, case number FC 22020001, case address 109 Northwest Fifth Avenue, owner BLF 2021 LLC, Station Village, Florida LLC, and all others. Personal service was given to this property on 2/7/22 and posted at City Hall on 2/10/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Kasarwich, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, here for case number FC 22020001 with a property address of 108 Northwest Fifth Avenue. The property was cited in reference to NFPA 1, 43.1.7.1. The spray booth does not have a fire suppression system consistent with Chapter 1, Chapter 43. This is a case where a tenant occupied the structure. They brought in a spray booth, failed to get permits on it. In the time frame since they were cited up till today, we've actually seen a lot of progress towards coming into compliance.
Good.
There are 2 permits that have been applied for. Actually, one is issued, and that's for the fire suppression system. And the other permit for the installation of the booth itself, the structural permit for it, is waiting on some corrections from client's response out during plan review. Because we've seen such forward progress in bringing this property into compliance, I would support the time frame of the 28 days with a mandatory order for reappearance on 3/24/22. Possibly during that time frame, this actually would be brought into compliance even. That's how quickly it's been moving forward.
Okay, and,
Or $100 a day thereafter, if
Okay.
not.
all right. Sir, please state your name for the record.
William L. Huntress.
Oh, okay, are you in agreement with the 28 days?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and everyone here is very nice.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 49. Captain Robert Kasarwich, case number FC 21110010, case address 817 Northwest 57th Street, owner Carter Property Enterprises, Inc. This case was first heard on 1/27/22 to comply by 2/24/22. Fines are due to start 2/25/22, and this is in order to reappear.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Kasarwich, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, here to present case number FC 211-10010, property address 817 Northwest 57th Street. Violations are as cited, and this is a mandatory order for reappearance. At this time, they do have a permit application that's in. The application is not complete. It was rejected. And awaiting client's response since 8/18 of 2021. We do have a respondent, and I think he'd be able to bring the court up to date with where they are in coming into compliance and what kind of time frame they're going to need at this point.
Okay, sir, please state your name for the record.
My name is Frederick Schmidt.
Okay,
I represent the owners. I'm a commercial real estate.
all right. Can you speak into the microphone a little better?
Yes.
Okay, all right. How long, why is it taking so long, and how much more time do you think you need?
Well, there have been some missteps, and frankly, what happened originally was we were cited, or the site was cited, for not having a fire sprinkler system. And so they went out and spent, several months getting a company to come in and to put together a plan and for a fire suppression system. And then it turned out when they went to inspect it that, or for permit for that the booth itself wasn't permitted. So they had to kind of backtrack. And so the owner is not good at handling these things. When I say the owner, I would say the tenant. So we stepped in and began to put him with companies that could draw the plans and what have you. And now we have finally, as of about 5 weeks ago, gotten a engineer that's come and measured and drawn the plans. And he told me, I spoke to him a couple days ago, that we should have the plans in 3 to 4 weeks. You know, everything nowadays seems to take an eternity. You can't believe it. So we're hoping we could have until April to get this permitted and inspected.
Okay, all right, any objection?
No, we'll support timeframe of 63 days to the April 28th hearing.
Yes, April 28th. Do you want them to come back?
At that time, only if they need to.
Okay, all right,
They've been given a lot of time, so hopefully by then it'll be resolved.
okay, all right. So I'm not going to give them a notice to reappear, but if you don't comply before the date, then the fines will begin to run. Right now, you have no fines against the property.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 44. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE21070533, case address 2333 Northwest 15th Court, owners Richard and Melanie Wade. This case was first heard on 11/9/21 to comply by 12/14/21. 3 sections not complied at $50 per day. $10,800 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
Your Honor, excuse me, swear I wasn't here. I came here and then left.
Oh, well, I appreciate you owning that. Can you swear the witness, please?
Do you swear and affirm to speak the truth at today's hearing?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Richard White.
Thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia, presenting case CE 21070533, reference to the property 2333 Northwest 15 Court. This case was first heard on November 9, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. At this time, the property owner has failed to comply with all violations cited as per the photos depict. The city is requesting the full imposition of fines to the sum of $10,800, of which continue to accrue until all violations have been complied.
Okay. Sir, please state your name again for the record.
Richard White.
Okay, why is it taking so long? I believe you had an extension already.
It's a combination of COVID. I have papers that show the judge signed the eviction papers. However, the papers were lost. They were replaced. The papers were served on the property yesterday, I believe, and I'm not allowed to go on the property. There was one outstanding violation that I thought was corrected way back when. Unfortunately, the tenant told me it was taken care of, and I apologize. In 26 years, I have never been to this case as far as not settling it beforehand. So I was unaware. If you want, I have a paper that was signed by the judge on the 3rd of February.
Yes, I'd like to see it. You can approach.
If you look, there's some other papers there that there was a stipulation in effect. As long as the tenant paid by certain dates, he would be allowed to stay and the case would be canceled. I was told by Julio David, I believe it was, the senior inspector, that there was problems that the tenants were causing on one of the other pages, and it shows about 15 violations, and the sheriff had to go to the property several times. But I can't do an eviction if the papers were lost.
Okay, but you now have the papers and you have a writ of possession, so you can.
The writ of possession was, I believe, signed, given to the sheriff yesterday. I alerted the sheriff that he should send 2 officers to post the thing because this person is a little crazy.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to go on the property because I fear for my life.
All right, I'm inclined to give him a little more time to straighten out this mess. Is 28 days
papers are there. Normally, a sheriff will post the final thing in there, and there's 10 cars parked on the lot, and I can't go on with
All right.
removing.
Your Honor, given the facts, and I don't disagree in the conditions of the tenant. I mean, there's been times that we've gone up to post at the property and there's just a crowd of people drinking outside and alcohol doesn't mix well with a notice to appear. I don't oppose to pausing the fines and rehearing the property for March 24th, given the fact that he's taken the process to go ahead and evict them. And then we'll just revisit the topic on March 24th, see where he's at with regard to progress, and then move forward with the case.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to give you 28 days. We're gonna pause the fines during that period of time, and you're gonna return on my next docket on March 24th.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Same day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 37. Senior Inspector Wilson Quintero, case number CE 21040243, case address 2424 Southeast 17th Street. Owner Village at Harbor Beach Condo Association. This case was first heard on 7/29/21 to comply by 10/28/21. Suspended 12/9/21 to 1/13/22. 4 sections not complied at $100 per day. $33,600 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
Good morning, Your Honor. Senior Inspector Quintero, Senior number 269, on behalf of the city, I'm presenting case number CE 21040243 for the address located at 2424 Southeast 17th Street. This case first came to a special magistrate on 7/29/2021, wherever it was presented, and the special magistrate party found for the city, and on 12/9/2021, when you granted 35 days extension. The violations were first cited on 4/11/2021. There are conversations by phone and in person with the property general contractor, the manager, and the attorney. During this conversation, the status of the violations and corrective action was discussed. The case is not in compliance, and these the positions that the fines being imposed and has read and continue.
Okay.
No more extensions.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ryan Aboud, for Village at Harbor Beach. I'm the association's lawyer.
Okay, and why is this taking so long?
My understanding is that it's been almost impossible to find licensed, insured contractors to perform the necessary work, especially during COVID. That's what I was told. The association has contracts in place and intends to start work immediately. So that's the only reason why it's my understanding that the work has not taken place yet.
Okay,
No more extensions, Your Honor. This is 3 buildings with more than 190 condominiums in there. I don't know if they got a maintenance crew personnel on duty or something, but some minimum housing violations needs to be done. It hasn't been done since last year.
And we're not disputing that, Your Honor. We're just, the association has some issues with management. All of these issues and maintenance deficiencies in the building, and of course, I'm not disputing what the inspector is saying. There's no reason to, that it's acknowledged. But the association has had a significant issue with its prior manager not performing its duty. I had counseled them, and without divulging attorney-client privilege, about what the rights and remedies are against the prior manager. Most of these things should have never been allowed to occur by prior management. And management has been underway, but for I believe a little bit over a year. They're getting, I should say, situated, for lack of a better word. And so we would like additional time if possible. And we would also like to address the fines. Did I hear correctly? $33,600?
no, the fines are up to $33,600. And, seeing that there's been no progress, since this was this was first heard in July. So I'm inclined to impose the fines. However, if we see some progress, maybe when you come back and address them at a later date, we'll see what happens. But for right now, I'm going to impose the fines.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Evan Oakes. I'm sorry, we'll have to recall the case. He just stepped out. I'll call it after he comes back in. We'll recall the case. Our next case is on page 34. Inspector Marco Aguilera. Case number CE 20121071. Case address 1549 Southwest 30th Terrace. Owner Federal National Mortgage Association in care of Ditech Financial LLC. This case was first heard on 4/13/21 to comply by 5/21. There are 3 suspensions notated on the agenda. 4 sections complied at $100 per day. A total of $56,400 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
For the record, Marco Aguilera, City of Fort Lauderdale Code Compliance Officer, presenting case CE 20121071 for property located at 1549 Southwest 30 Terrace. This property was first heard on April 13th, 2021, where the magistrate found for the city. Property was granted extensions on August 10th, 2021, November 9th, 2021, and January 11th, 2022. A reinspection was performed on February 10th. The property is found to have complied with all the requirements of the city as per the photos depict. At this time, the city is requesting the full imposition of fines to the sum of $56,400. And just for the owner's information, the administrative costs are $967 on the property.
Please state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This was a request for an extension, so they would have to waive their right to massey notice.
Okay.
Because we noticed them as a request for an extension.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Being that this was a request for an extension, you would have to waive your right to a massey notice because we did not notice you by massey hearing for a massey hearing.
Okay, that is waived. We do want to appear today to request a reduction in the fine.
Okay.
My name is Julia Paletti. I represent Federal National Mortgage Association, the owner in this case. My client's ownership goes back to 2018. We did acquire ownership as a result of the foreclosure action. We immediately took action. It came into the REO inventory. The property was vacant at the time. We immediately began work. In October, we began work on the roof and the gutter, repaired the garage door, cleaned the exterior windows, did some landscaping work. Again, October 12, 2018, our vendor completed services. We removed the shed later that month. We raised side tree canopy later that month and shaped the palm trees. October 31st, still in 2018, we tarped the roof. November 16th, our vendor began weekly services, maintaining the property. August 12th, more landscaping work was done. This is now 2019. Now, when things changed was September 5th, 2019, our agent reported a squatter with an invalid lease. 2 days later, the squatter did file a police report. So we were
What does all this have to do with the case that was brought in 2021?
Well, so this is to show my client's efforts to repair the property until the squatter appeared. So at that time, all work ceased because of the police report that was filed. We no longer went to work to do any work on the property. It was the occupancy status was updated to occupancy tenant. Additionally, this squatter was a violent individual. There was a warrant out for his arrest for several violent felonies. And for that reason, we couldn't complete work while he was in possession of the property. Also, there was the Fannie Mae federal moratorium on evictions. So we were unable to evict this individual from the property, and we were unable to complete the work to correct the violations at that time.
Your Honor, if I could and just interject, Rana Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. The moratoria on evictions only related to non-payment. There was never a moratoria on eviction of a squatter, and that would be an ejectment action. There wouldn't be a a preclusion for the financial institution to get rid of a squatter.
Okay.
So the federal moratorium did end in September 30th. My client immediately took steps to evict at that time. On October 18th, 2021, there was an order staying the writ of possession because they were claiming that they had a valid lease at the time. So Judge Gunderson entered that order staying the writ through February 1st, 2022. So our writ of possession was stayed. However, they did not comply with that order, and the writ of possession was actually issued January 6th, 2022. Now, at that time, we immediately took work to resolve all the violations. As of February 10th, all violations were cured.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
The city is aware of the squatter situation. They were made aware by the owners. It was later determined through the police department that the squatter did have multiple warrants for violent crimes, which is what I spoke to her about, why they chose to not approach the property until the squatter was removed from the property. The city is not against any reduction of fines that you so order.
Okay. Anything else from the city attorney on this?
No, Your Honor, thank you so much.
Okay, all right. I'm going to reduce the fines to $7,500.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 25. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 211-10282. Case address 1320 Northwest 7 Terrace. Owner Concepcia Cilian and Leon Noel. Property posted 12922. Posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-0282, property address 1320 Northwest 7th Terrace. This property was initially inspected on November 10th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A, there is trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and or a swell. 9-306, complied. 9-304B, the gravel driveway is not well maintained. It has grass growing through the gravel. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17th, 2022, and the following violations remain. 18-12A, 9-304B, and 9-305B, as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
Ian Villanelle,
Are you in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 28 days?
everything done, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
Everything done.
I'm sorry, I'm still not here.
Everything inspector said, everything done. For
Okay,
me.
all right,
I do
so
everything.
I'm gonna grant the city the 28 days and give the inspector a chance to go out and re-inspect and actually see if everything's in
Everything
compliance.
done.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 18. Inspector Bover Exantis, case number CE 211-10317. Case address 1445 West Sunrise Boulevard. Owner Burger King Corp. number 16 in care of Ryan. Property posted 2422. Posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Exantis, on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2111-0317, property address 1445 West Sunrise Boulevard. This property was first inspected on November 10th, 2021 by Senior Inspector Wilson Quintero Sr., and the following violation was discovered. 47-21.11.a has been cited already on the case number CE 18-100651, violation 47-19.5.d.5. There's a buffer wall, screening wall on this occupied commercial property facing Northwest 10 Place that needs repair. There are cracks and dirt stain on it. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February 4th, 2022, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on February 16, 2022. Revealed violation remains as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 21 days to correct the violation or a fine of $50 per violation for each day thereafter.
Okay, is the other case in front of me today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so the 21 days you're asking for is just for the buffer wall?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Neville Mattis.
Okay, can you bring the property into compliance within 21 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 35. Our next two cases are on page 35 with Inspector Darren Emmons. Case number CE 17121300. Case address 2631 Southwest 12th Terrace. Owner Beth Brooks, Tammy Brooks, and all others. This case was first heard on 6/7/2018 to comply by 9/6/2018.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There are 5 suspensions notated on the agenda. One section not complied at $50 per day, $18,100 accrued, and this is a request for an extension. Also on page 35, case number CE 18070838, case address 2631 Southwest 12th Terrace. Owner Beth Brooks, Tammy Brooks, and all others. This case was first heard on 11/15/2018 to comply by 2/14/2019. There are 4 suspensions notated on the agenda. One section not complied at $50 per day, $18,900 accrued. This is request for an extension.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Sorry about that. Inspector Emmons, City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting for the case and address as read, for the cases and address as read. This violation was first cited on 12/13/2017 by the previous inspector. This case also came in front of the magistrate on 6/7/2018 for the CE 17121300, and then for case CE 18070838, it came before the magistrate on 11/15/2018 for both violations 9-306 and 9-308. There have been conversations with the property owner who's representing herself today in regards to working with the Rebuild Florida plan on having her house demolition and a rebuild. So the city has been in communication with her. This property was last inspected on 2/19/22 where the violations remain. The fines continue to accrue. The city has no issue with an extension at this point.
All right. Please state your name for the record.
Beth K. Brooks.
Okay. How much of an extension would you like? What are you asking for?
At least 63 days. They say they're going to do it any day. They've been telling me this for a while, and I just can't wait. And I'm praying that this will get done. And
okay.
COVID has been an issue with this too because all their contractors and stuff have been down sick and everything. So
Okay.
it's a real
Any
mess.
objection to 63-day extension?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. 63-day extension. And yes.
Can I add something? We got a communication with the police department, a building department, that the property is open at this time. So just make sure the property is secure. Otherwise, the city will go over there and abate the violation and board it up, and it's going to cost a little more money. Okay?
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. 63 days, and we'll stall the fines during that time.
Thank you.
All right.
Our next case is on page 49. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne. Case number CE 200908661. Case address 3022 Northeast 26th Street. Owner Jeffrey Fenster. This case was first heard on 2/9/21 to comply by 5/11/21. There are two suspensions notated on the agenda. One section not complied at $50 per day. And this was $1,500 accrued, and this was in order to reappear.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Senior Inspector Cloyne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 200908661. Case address is 3022 Northeast 26th Street. This property was first inspected on 9/23/20 by Inspector Snyder, and the case was heard by the magistrate on February 9th, 21, where the magistrate found for the city to comply the violations by May 11th, 21. And since then, the owner has been given two other extensions, one for 182 days, and the other one was for 77 days. And I believe he wanted to speak about what was going on.
So you mentioned the owner's Jeffrey
Well,
Fenster.
I need you to state your name first.
Michael Yanolos. I'm actually the authorized agent for William Resnick, who's actually the property owner.
Okay.
Jeffrey Fenster is the one who caused the code violations, both with the prior structure and with the seawall. And my client and I have been working diligently. We tore down the old structure. There's seawall panels poured on the property. We're moving towards, building a new house, which is going to include a new seawall. So we would request an extension, I think 90 to 120 days to complete the actual seawall work. And then the home permit is issued now. It's BLD RNC 21100028. So there is a residential new construction permit and a seawall permit pending, an Army Corps letter. So we are doing, everything we can to get this work done.
Your Honor, because of the consideration of time, it has been well over a year since the first appearance was at the magistrate, the first appearance, and also the permit is still in state of corrections. So the permit does need to be corrected as well. And because of these issues, I would say that we would only agree to an extension of 91 days, but also with a mandatory reappearance.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
I think that makes sense to me. And so 91 days, order to reappear on my docket on May 26th.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 8. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 211-00342. Case address 2217 Northwest 19th Street. Owner Les Immeubles S.L. Levesque, Inc. Property posted 2/10/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22. Where's the other one?
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-00342, reference to the property 2217 Northwest 19th Street. This property was initially cited on October 12, 2021 for the following violations. 15-28, the business Transport St. Hyacinth at this location is operating without a current year business tax receipt. This is a repeat violation of case CE 2003-0291. BCZ 39-296. There is illegal land use occurring at this B3 county zone property. The vacant lot is being used to store vehicles, buses, and trailers. In addition to the trailers are being used as a dwelling on the property, which is a prohibited use for a B3 county zone property per section 39-295. 9-304B, there are vehicles and trailers that are parked in the grass lawn area. 47-20.20.H, there are parking facilities that are not maintained at this property. The area where the vehicles are parked are not properly marked. There are potholes and the surfaces are uneven. The parking lot does not have properly graded driveway that leads to the parking areas. At the time of initial inspection, it was observed that the transport company, TSH, is operating on this B3 zone without a business license. A case history of the property was performed, and the property was cited in March of 2020 for the same violation. The subject company attempted to obtain a business license from the city, but was denied since the zoning does not allow the use of this property. Multiple inspections were done on the property as per the photos depict, and the property has continued to be used in violation of the sections cited. Due to the findings, the city is requesting 48 hours to cease all operations on the property and remove all of the following, but not limited to: all vehicles, recreational vehicles, boats on trailers, and trucks, or a fine of $100 per day per violation. Furthermore, 42 days to comply with the section 9-305B and 47-20.20H, or a fine of $100 per day. And in addition, the city requests the imposition of fines to the sum of $19,200 that continues to accrue for the citation issued under repeat violation under section 15-28.
Your Honor, for the record, the citation is on page 47, case number CE 211-00342. It was cited on 10/12/21 to comply by 10/19/21. One section not complied at $150 per day, $19,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed on the citation, and fines continue to accrue, and no appeal was received for the citation.
Okay, so taking the citation first, please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Sylvain Lompré. I'm here on the behalf of TSH and Les Immeubles S. Lévesque.
Okay, did anyone file an appeal in this case?
There were no appeal made before. I just got into this this January. I'm now director of operation for the company. I have prepared here something. I don't know if I can.
Okay, well, let me just tell you, if you have not filed an appeal, and this is true for any citation case, there's nothing I can do for you at this level, okay? So the only thing I can do is impose the fine, and then if you think it's warranted, you could go through a lien reduction process to try to get the fine reduced. But for right now, everything under the current ordinance, everything, when you do not request the appeal, everything that the city says is deemed admitted. So it leaves me no discretion but to impose the fine.
Actually, there was a lawyer that we paid to represent the company here, but I don't think they had covered their duties by.
Well, I can't comment on what the lawyer did or did not do, but the city did not receive an appeal. So I have to impose that fine of $19,200. Now, getting back
Your Honor,
to.
and just for clarity, on the citation, it's still not in compliance, so it would continue to accrue.
Oh, and it continues to accrue.
Thank
you. Okay. Then back to page 8. It's your recommendation 48 hours to cease all operations or $100 a day thereafter. Is that
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Okay.
That's based on section 39-296 for the illegal land use of the property.
Okay. All right. And the remainder, I lost track of what you were saying on the remainder of the violations. What is your recommendation?
42 days to comply with section 9-305B and 47-20.20H, or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
Okay. And 304, 305B and
My apologies. Also, with the compliance of 39-296 comes 9-304B, which is the vehicles that are being stored all over the grass. Therefore, that one will do the 48 hours as well.
Okay, that's for 305B.
304B.
304B.
My apologies.
No problem. Just want to make sure I have it all straight. Okay, do you understand then what he's asking me for?
Yes,
48 hours to cease all operations on the property, and 42 days to bring the maintenance on the facilities into compliance, and the landscaping. Are you in agreement with that?
On the landscaping, there is plan to to have a building made on this property. There was a plan to have it built in 2020, but everything went to an halt with the COVID. And as the border was closed, being Canadian, we couldn't come in here, so everything has been put to an halt. There's plan to to have the landscape done and a pavement done on the entire property to be able to have our operation done there.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna give you 42 days to complete that process, or $100 a day thereafter. And in the meantime, you have 48 hours to stop all work, all operations on the property.
Okay.
Your Honor, just for the record, because he brought up the fact that they're looking to build on the property, there's no permits on file for absolutely any kind of work on the property.
Okay, all right, you need to double check that.
Yep.
All right, 48 days, 48 hours or $100 a day, and 42 days or $100 a day on the landscape and parking facility.
And what is the actual fine? Can you repeat, give me the amount of the actual fine?
48 hours to cease all activities.
Yes.
Or face a fine of $100 a day. You have 42 days to fix the parking facility and do the landscaping, or face a fine of $100 a day.
Okay, but there was a $19,000 fine that he was explaining.
I have already imposed that.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Inspector Caracas, we need you at the podium. Our next case is on page 29. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 211-20299, case address 1631 Northwest 3rd Avenue. Owner Yelima Trujillo. Property posted 12922, posted at City Hall 21022.
Do you swear to translate truthfully from Spanish to English, English to Spanish?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-20299, property address 1631 Northwest 3rd Avenue. This property was initially inspected on December 11th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-304B, gravel driveway is in need of being re-graveled and weeds removed. 18-12A is complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-304B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
Okay. Can you please ask them to state their names for the record?
Buenos días, mi nombre es Yolima Trujillo.
Good morning, my name is Ms. Trujillo.
And good morning, my name is Lady Cardona.
Okay. Can you ask them if they're in agreement to bring the property into compliance within 28 days or face a fine of $50 a day thereafter?
¿Están de acuerdo con el oficial traer la propiedad en orden, conforme las normas, y dentro de 28 días, si no va a haber una multa de $50 por la violación?
Correcto, sí, correcto.
They're in agreement.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 43. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 21030122. Case address 1711 Southwest 38th Avenue. Owner James Schaffel. This case was first heard on 9/14/21 to comply by 11/16/21. 4 sections complied at $50 per day. $600 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia, presenting case CE 2103022, reference to the property 1711 Southwest 38th Avenue. This case was first heard on September 14, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. At this time, the property owner has complied with all violations cited. At the city requests the imposition of administrative costs of $200.
Okay. Sir, please state your name.
James, excuse me, James Schaffel.
Okay, are you in agreement with the reduction of fines to city cost of $200?
Of what?
City cost of $200.
Well, the situation was, Inspector Garcia and I had communicated prior to the closing date on the 16th. He didn't, due to his work schedule, Wednesday through Saturday, he didn't come out till the 17th, but that was his first day. So when he came out on the 17th, we had a misunderstanding about two, they were like dock boxes, storage boxes, that I thought in a previous discussion with him, he had said it was okay for them to be there. But when he came out the day after my closing date, he said, no, you misunderstood what I said, or we had a minor misunderstanding. And I, at that point, said, okay, fine, I'll address it as soon as possible. Thursday, we had record-breaking, Thursday and Friday, we had record-breaking rain that week. And on Saturday, it was taken care of. So any fines, to me, I would have to say would be unfair because of the miscommunication with Inspector Garcia about those boxes, and that was the only issue that pulled over those 4 days. All the other issues were complied with when he came out on Wednesday, and the only issue was those two boxes being there.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
Just give me 1 second, Your Honor, just because I'm looking up the case on hold on 1 second.
It was previous cases and he's aware of those violations.
So at the September 9th of 2014 hearing, we had imposed 63 days for compliance or a fine of $50 per day. His timeline is bringing something up that is just days apart. Originally, he had accrued $600 in fines. And at this particular property, there was approximately 15 inspections done. $50 a day accrued to $600. You're talking more than just a couple of days that it could have been a misunderstanding on that behalf. Given the fact the city still stands with the imposition of fines of $200, if there's a case history on this property, and I don't mean to put the property owner in any type of position, but the property owner is aware of the violations that he had on his property. Whether at that time there was a misunderstanding, I can, vouch to that, in that particular sense. But given the fact, we're still reducing the fine to $200 instead of $600.
I've also had medical issues. I had 2 heart attacks back in April. I just spent 2 weeks, 3 days in the hospital last week. I'm still having issues with coronary problems, and I don't have any friends. I lost my professional accreditations when I had my heart attacks. I can't get them back. So as I'm unemployed, money is very limited, and that's my situation. But I don't understand where he's saying 15 re-inspections were completed. I think I'm missing something there, but.
Well, what he's trying to tell me is that while the city is willing to waive the fines in this case, the property was in violation, and the city had to expend funds to come back and keep re-inspecting the place until it was brought into compliance.
Well, they gave me 63 days because I explained in the first hearing that I was recovering from 2 heart attacks, and I'm not supposed to be out in the 90-degree heat, and he gave me, a break then, and they gave me 62 days to comply. and that ended on November 16th. He came out on the 17th, and the only reason it wasn't in compliance on the 17th was those boxes being there. So, I mean, if your stance is $200 fine, then I guess that's, it is what it is. But I'm missing something about the 15 re-inspections. I mean, he came out on the compliance date was the 16th of November. He came out on the 17th. Where did 16 re-inspections occur? That's why I don't understand what he's saying.
Your Honor, just for the record and for clarity, the case was originated back in March 4th of 2021. So from March 4th to all the way till February 18th, 15 inspections were done on the property.
Right, but I got one initial notice taped to the fence. Until I got the first letter to request to be at a hearing, I received no communications from the city. So if anything happened during that time, I thought the case, they asked me to remove a couple of vehicles that was derelict vehicles and stuff. Those vehicles were removed within the first week. And I thought, I didn't hear anything for 3 months after that. So I figured the city that's what they wanted. They wanted the derelict vehicles removed.
Okay.
I removed them.
Okay, sir. All right, I'm gonna reduce the fine to $100, and that's my ruling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 19. Inspector Bovrig Xantis, case number CE 211-10681. Case address 1223 Northwest 15th Avenue. Owner Community 8 Properties LLC. Property posted 2/10/22. Posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Xantis on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 2111-0681. Property address 1223 Northwest 15th Ave. This property was first inspected on November 23rd, 2021 by Senior Inspector Gail Williams, and the following violation was discovered. Violation 18-12A is complied. Violation 9-306 is complied. Violation 47-34.1.A.1 is complied. Violation 9-304B is complied. Violation 9-280H1 is complied. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. And violation -27.B is also in compliance. The city is requesting 21 days for violation 9-305B or fine of $50 per day each day thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
Good morning. My name is Andras Vlax.
Okay, it looks like you've tried to bring most of it in compliance. You just have the landscape left to do. Can you get that done within 21 days?
Yes, absolutely. We are just waiting for the grass, which will be arriving today at noon.
Perfect.
We already did one pallet of grass, which was the issue that the city did some cabling. They put a new pole actually on the swell, so that destroyed our grass. So we took care of it, but it wasn't enough. There are some spots missing, so today it will be done, yeah.
Okay, good. 21 days or $50 a day thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 16. Inspector Bovrig Xantis, case number CE 211-00432. Case address 1113 Northwest 11th Court. Owners Goran and Teresa Dragoslavic. Property posted 2/3/2022. Posted at City Hall 2/10/2022.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Inspector Xantis on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 2110-0432. Property address 1113 Northwest 11th Court. Property was first inspected on October 14, 2021 and the following violation was discovered. Violation 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, and debris, rubbish on this property and its well. Violation 47-34.1.A.1. There's illegal land use occurring at this property, including but not limited to outdoor storage of boat, door, plywoods, wheelbarrow, and other miscellaneous items prohibited in this RS8 zoning. Violation 9-304B, the asphalt driveway is cracked and has holes and grass and weeds are growing through it. And violation 9-280H1 is complied. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and a well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell areas. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February 3rd, 2022, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on February 16, 2022. Revealed violation remain as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 42 days to correct the violations or a fine of $50 per violation for each day thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name again for the record.
My name is Andres Flax.
Okay, are you willing to bring the property into compliance within 42 days or face the fines?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 22. Inspector Evan Oakes. Case number CE 211-00192. Case address 1522 Northwest 8th Avenue, numbers 1 and 2. Owner Goran Dragoslavic. Property posted 12722. Posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-00192, property address 1522 Northwest 8th Avenue, 1-2. This property was initially inspected on October 7th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-304B, the paved driveway is not well maintained. There are potholes and cracks that need to be filled in. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained. The windows in the front of the structure are broken with tape and other material on them. 18-12A complied. 18-4C complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 19th, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-304B and 9-280B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
Again, state your name for the record.
My name is Andres Flax.
Okay, and are you in agreement to bring this property into compliance within 28 days or face the fine?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 14. Inspector Bovrig Xantis. Case number CE 2106020. Case address 1417 Northwest 12th Street. Owner Von Seal Jackson. Property posted 2322. Posted at City Hall 21022.
Again, good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Xantis on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement. Case number CE 2106-0120. Property address 1417 Northwest 12th Street. This property was first inspected in June 4th, 2021 by Inspector Oakes, and the following violation was discovered. Violation 18-1.A. The pool at this property has green, stagnant water and is not being maintained on a regular basis. And this condition is present as a health safety issue for the community. It may become a breeding ground for mosquitoes and is a public nuisance. Violation 18-12A, there's trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and its well. Violation 9-306, exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia boards, soffits, and are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stained and missing peeling paints. Violation 9-304B, the gravel driveway is not well graded. Violation 280H1. The chain link fence and the wooden fence at this property are in disrepair, and are not being maintained as required. There are sections that are missing and panels are missing. Violation 9-305B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and a well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Violation 2024-27B. There are waste containers left outside after collection day and not pulled back onto an approved locations. Violation 9-313.8. Properties not being identified by approved address numbers. Violation 18-4.c is complied. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February the 3rd, 2022. And the city is requesting at this time 35 days to correct all violation, or a fine of $25 for each day thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Minerva Parks Door.
Okay, and are you willing to bring the property into compliance within 35 days or face the fines?
We need more time, but there is stuff already been done. The pool has been done. He has not been there to check. The pool has been done. The wooden fence on the side has been done. I don't live there. My mom does, but
Okay.
she's legally blind, number one. She don't have the funds, so I have to come in and try to help her. I'm not working. I
Okay.
just got over COVID, so
Okay.
I'm really not working, and my job is like slow now. So he haven't been there to check. The pool is done. I had to pay like $1,500 to fix the pool, put the water in the pool, maintenance the pool. All the cars that he showed there, they've been removed since last year. They've been out of the yard since last year. The metal gate, I'm trying to go to Home Depot to try to put it back together and fix it. The trash cans I put on the side of the house. They've been removed. All that stuff that he's talking about is already in the process of doing.
Okay,
So we need more than numbers on the mailbox. I changed the mailbox. I put a new mailbox. So there's stuff being done. So we need at least 90 days or more, because she don't have the funds, so I have to figure out how to get the funds.
okay,
We need that. But stuff is being done.
all right. I'm gonna give you 91 days. Is that okay with this?
Yes, Your Honor, city would not oppose with 91 days, but Your Honor, just for the record, there has never been access since the case was first cited
Okay.
to review the pool, whether the pool was in compliance or not. So access has been denied each time we get to the property.
Okay, all right, so I'm taking your word for it that the pool's done, because that's what really,
Good, I
one of the things that concerns me the most, because it is a health hazard if water.
I have pictures of the pool.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna grant 91 days to bring the rest of the property up into compliance and give him access to the property so that he can inspect again and see what's been done, okay? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 12. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 211-20165. Case address 400 Southeast 22nd Street, owner FTL 222 Venture LLC. Property posted 21022, posted at City Hall 21022.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211200165 in reference to the property 400 Southeast 22nd Street. This case was initially cited by previous Officer Fetter on December 16, 2021, for the violations 18-1 for graffiti on the fence screening at this property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such manner that the property is or may reasonably affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. 18-12A. There's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and on the swale. Reinspection of the property was performed on February 10, 2022, and found that the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. I do want to bring up that this morning, the property owner actually provided photographs from yesterday that they went out and removed the graffiti and the overgrowth and trash. So at this time, the city's just going to request 21 days just to confirm in case anything else is missing. And if not, a fine of $50 per day thereafter.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
My name is Robert Sherman. I represent the ownership of this group. And yes, I did send out, unfortunately, I mistyped his email address earlier in the week. Did send the pictures. This project has been in the makings of construction. We actually did finally break ground on the construction, finally got all our permits, so we're very happy to move forward with the project.
Good.
We'll be bringing this and keeping it as in accordance now that someone's on site.
Okay, so I'll give them the 21 days so they can come out and re-inspect, and then they can comply the property.
Great. I was communicating with the prior officer. I didn't know Mr. Garcia. Now we've exchanged numbers, so we'll be able to stay in communication.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 24. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 211-00720, case address 1600 Northwest 7th Avenue, owner Elaine Blandford and Julene Blandford, property posted 12922, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-00720, property address 1600 Northwest 7th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on October 22nd, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-306, complied. 9-304B, paved driveway to include apron approach area is in disrepair and is not well graded. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17th, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-304B and 9-305B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
Please state your name for the record.
Lion Blanford.
Okay, can you bring the rest of the property into compliance within 28 days?
No, I need more time.
Okay, what are you asking for?
At least 60 days, because we have had actual people come out, but I guess they use COVID as not being able to do the work, or they're busy backed up. So I have nobody unless I'm doing referrals now through people that I know that have gotten their property done, but nobody comes out, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I do have like emails of proposals, but nobody will come out. So that's not an issue, because these emails are from like May of last year and June of last year, but nobody comes out. And these are proposals for driveways, for the driveway. So I knew that the driveway needs to be done.
Your Honor, the city's not opposed to giving 63 days.
Okay. All right, 63 days or a fine of $50 a day thereafter.
Okay.
And make sure if you run into a problem, you contact the inspector before those fines start to run.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Our next case is on page 46. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 211-20575. Case address 2637 Sugarloaf Lane. Owner Richard V. Thompson Jr. This case was cited on 1/2/22 to comply by 1/3/22. One section complied at $150 per day, $4,500 accrued. One section complied at $250 per day, $7,500 accrued, a total of $12,000 accrued. The city is requesting full amount and no appeals received for this citation.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 211-20575 in reference to the property 2637 Sugarloaf Lane. Property was initially cited on December 23rd, 2021, for the violations 47-39.8.7.a. There's illegal dock rental taking place at the subject property, which is not permitted under the permitted uses of an RS 6.85A zone property. 47-39.8.1.b.9.b. There is major work being done on a vessel docked at the subject property that consists of the replacement of an exhaust manifold, and it is not in compliance with section 47-39. 18-4C, there are derelict vessels docked at the property. The vessels that were found in derelict condition, as per the definition of section 18-3, due to the expired registration and overall state of neglect and abandonment. 47-39.8.1.b.9C. There are multiple vessels docked at the property that are plugged into electric power beyond the 48 hours prior to departure. And on December 23rd, 2021, communication was received from Fort Lauderdale Police Department Marine Unit Officer Soma in reference to the complaint of a vessel docked at the subject property spilling fuel in the water. Though determination could not be made at the time that the fuel was coming from a vessel docked at the property, the subject violations were discovered at the time of inspection as per the photos depict. No communication had been obtained after December 23rd, 2021 from the property owner, and the property owner never filed an appeal for the citations issued. A reinspection was performed on February 2nd, 2022, found that the property had complied with the requirements issued by the city. And at this time, the city is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $12,000.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Richard Thompson.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, did you file an appeal in this case?
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Okay.
May I clear up a few things?
The problem is, whatever you tell me, I have no choice but to impose the fine at this time.
But I would just like to clear some of this stuff up. First of all, Kenneth, the police officer, came around in my boat, gave me his card, says, well, at least and I told him it was that oil, I've been watching it for 2 days. I even called in about it. And so did the neighbors. And we've been watching it. I'm involved with the manatees. I'm involved with the yacht club there. I'm a commodore with them, and we're trying to work with children to help them learn how to sail and do things like that. That's where I want to get started. I'm a pilot as well. I fly rescue for animals and for people.
I appreciate.
But back to the Your Honor. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'll go over this real quick. There was only one boat plugged in, and when I'm a realtor and I sold this house. And this guy wanted those boats out of there right now. They could not find a way to get them out. I says, look, you can temporarily put them at my dock, but you've got to get it out of there.
Okay, sir, all I can tell you is, no matter what you tell me here today, I have no discretion but to impose the fine because you didn't timely file the appeal.
I didn't
But,
know.
wait,
My
please
mother,
don't speak while I'm speaking, okay? I can listen to all of this. If you file for a lien reduction, once I impose the fine, I can hear all this and try to work with you in a reduction of the fine. But right now, because I don't have an appeal in front of me, the only thing that I have discretion to do is to enter is to order the fine. So I would encourage you to take advantage of the lien reduction process, and I will be happy to hear at that level everything you want to tell me.
may I speak? Just say one thing.
Go ahead.
A lot of things that backfired on me. I went to the hospital with my heart and my lungs as well, and my mom passed away, and I had to deal with a lot of that stuff. And I got that one boat was gone the very next 2 days later. Within 2 days, it was gone. The only one we had an issue with. Do you have a Manny? Do you have a photo? I saw you take a photo of the street one day.
All the photos are up.
You have one of the boat. You may have been taking a photo of the boat across the canal that looks like it's at my dock, but it's not.
All the photos that were taken were at the time of the initial inspection, which is December 23rd.
Okay.
And then there was 2 photos that were taken at the reinspection on February 2nd, 2022, which was at the time when we found compliance.
And I try to adhere to everything.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I am very sympathetic of your circumstances, and I will be happy to you know, if you file for the lien reduction, I'll be happy to hear all of this and try to reduce the fine for you. But I do not have the discretion at this level because an appeal wasn't filed. So I would encourage you to take advantage of the lien reduction process, and I will do my best to help you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
All right, thank you.
Our next case is on page 42. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 22010172. Case address 208 Southwest 2nd Street. Owner 208 Southwest 2nd Street LLC. This case was cited on 1/6/22 to comply by 1/13/22. One section not complied at $150 per day. $6,300 accrued. The city is requesting full amount, and no appeal was received for the citation.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 22010172 in reference to the property 208 Southwest 2nd Street. This property was initially cited on January 6, 2022 for the violation 15-28 for the business Bandoleros Taqueria y Mas. At this location is operating without a current year sidewalk cafe business tax permit. At this time, the establishment has submitted permit BLD-SWC-2107-0003, which is currently in process. A reinspection of the property was performed on February 12, 2022, and the establishment continues to operate the sidewalk cafe without a permit or a license being issued from the city, as per the photos depict. Communication has been maintained with the establishment owner in regards to the violation and the process to comply. As per the findings, the violation remains active and fines have accrued to the sum of $6,300. Given the fact that the establishment is awaiting for approval of permit by the city of Fort Lauderdale, at this time, the city does not oppose to pause the fines and order a reappearance for March 24, 2022.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
Goldie Steele.
Okay, do you have any objection to pausing the fines?
Sorry, what was the question?
Pausing the fines for 28 days and then coming back?
Yeah, no objection.
Okay. So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there an issue? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 6. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne, case number CE 21090563, case address 3041 Northeast 49th Street, owner BPL LLC, property posted 2922, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning again. Senior Inspector Cologne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. Your Honor, we would like to ask for a continuance for 28 days on this case, and an order to reappear would be for March 24th, 2022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rod Finer on behalf of the respondent.
Good morning, Mr. Finer.
Nice seeing you again. No problems and no objections to the city's request. We thank you for the city for granting the continuance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 30. This is an administrative hearing for an appeal. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 21090637, case address 877 Northeast 18th Court, numbers 1 through 6. Owner, Mayhew Family Limited Partnership, LP. And again, this is an administrative appeal.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oakes, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 21090637, property address 877 Northeast 18th Court, 1-6. This property was initially inspected on September 25th, 2021, following a complaint referenced illegal dumping. However, there was no evidence to support an illegal dump. My inspection revealed there to be a refrigerator located on the swell of the multi-unit property, and since there was no identifying details on the item or additional information which would have deemed it to be an illegal dump, the property owner was cited for the following violation: 24-7B. A bulk trash violation notice was posted on the property, given 48 hours for compliance, and photos taken of the item in question and the posting. After 48 hours, a reinspection of the property was conducted, and the item in question remained in the same location with no change or contact from the owner. Due to this finding, the item was then submitted for removal by the city. The city subsequently removed the item, and the case was complied.
Okay, sir, please state your name.
Brian Mayhew. I'm the general partner for Mayhew Family Limited Partnership.
Okay, Mr. Mayhew, what do you want to tell me in support of your appeal?
What I'd like to explain to you, Your Honor, is this is, first of all, I was the person, it wasn't a complaint. I reported the illegal dumping. It's one of at least 4 incidents by a disgruntled tenant who used to live at this building. On the latest incident, we actually, well, I won't get into the reasons, but anyway, in the latest incident, he left items with his address and letters addressed to him and so forth in the items he dumped. So the police and the code enforcement officers are both investigating that. What when I originally called this in, it was because we'd had prior incidents when he lived there and after he moved out of this leaving bulk trash, and in this case, articles from somewhere else. All of the apartments in this building have been renovated and have new appliances. The appliance that he left here was in some sort of cabinetry that was broken. It was an old refrigerator. It was not from this building. When I called in to code enforcement, the young lady there was very polite and helpful, and I explained to her in more detail what I've just told you, and she said, well, that's illegal dumping. You won't be charged or fined. Thank you for reporting this. I said, well, please take my cell phone number. I'd be happy to meet the inspector. I'd like to meet the inspector and explain this to him, show him some pictures and so forth of why we know this is illegal dumping by a disgruntled tenant. I was not called by the inspector, unfortunately, until after he made the inspection. I explained to him in more detail what I have just explained to you, and that there were no such appliances in this building. All the units have been fully renovated. I told him about the tenant, so on and so forth. And the next communication I received from the city was the $250 charge for hauling the bulk trash. So with me, I have the photographs I would have given Mr. Oates if he'd been able to meet me there, along with notices to the tenants about leaving bulk trash on the property prior to this incident and so forth. But there was no opportunity. What Mr. Oates was very polite, and I understand the inspectors are doing a hard job, very busy, and have a lot of cases to deal with. So this is not anything negative about the inspector. But his comment to me, his question to me was, did you file a police report? And I said, I had no idea the police would be interested in illegal dumping as busy as they are. But if that is something we need to do in the future, because I'm convinced if code enforcement or somebody doesn't get to this guy and have some accountability, he's having fun. I'm in here today. This is fun for him. The fine's fun for him. The cost to me to haul this away, that's all fun for him. So unless there's some accountability, the fun's going to continue. Well, based on Mr. Oates' advice, when it happened and the guy left items with his name on it and so forth, his new address, I did call in the police, and we have a Detective Levine investigating. I've got the case number. I reported it again to the city, not as a complaint, reporting illegal dumping again by the same individual. And Inspector Sembert came out and met me at my request. We looked at the stuff. I gave him we had a letter we found in the box, one of the boxes addressed to this tenant. So we pretty clearly understand now and have proof of who's doing it. But it's the 4th incident, and what I've explained to the gentleman, code enforcement, and the police is if there's no accountability, there's going to be a 5th and a 6th and so forth. So I'm asking in this case for some consideration from the city. This is not a case where we keep that property in immaculate condition. We do not let anything go. We certainly don't dispose of trash. And when we have a problem tenant like this, we get rid of him. When his lease was month to month, we did not renew him. That caused more problems with him and damage to the apartment. We're glad he's gone. But he's like the Friday the 13th guy. We can't get rid of him. He keeps coming back and dumping on the property. So I certainly could have had this hauled away by someone who works for me, as we have had to do with this guy before and after he moved out, for much less than $250. If someone had told me, hey, if you don't haul this, it's going to cost you $250, I would have had it out there that day, gone. That wasn't told to me, and I had no idea nor no reference that said to pursue a illegal dumping complaint with the city, you have to make a police report. I now know that because the inspector was kind enough to tell me, and I've pursued that with subsequent incidents. If Your Honor would like to see them, I have notices we gave them about bulk trash violations, pictures of bulk trash prior to this, dating back to June. I have the most recent stuff. I have the letter we found in the trash and all the photographs that we've gone. So I'm just asking for consideration of fairness to the property owner who is being we're being taken advantage of, and the city's being used as a tool against us because we made this guy vacate the apartment.
Okay.
Good morning, Julio Dowd, Co-Compliance Supervisor. So we wouldn't consider this necessarily. I believe the inspector did his due diligence. He went out to the property. This is something by the owner's own admission that his own tenant left on the property. This isn't something we would necessarily consider illegal dumping or something that the city would come out and pick up for him. As a property owner, he should be responsible for anything that his tenants are discarding on the property, whether they're being evicted or whether they currently reside on the property. Everything else between him and the tenant would be considered a civil matter. Furthermore, I believe that this is a life safety issue because it is a refrigerator. Anytime anybody puts a refrigerator out, even legally, the doors should be removed and discarded right away to prevent anybody from gaining access to it, especially little children. And therefore, I don't believe that the city should waive the citation.
Your Honor, this gentleman moved out in June, 15th of June. The incident occurred in September. He was certainly not our tenant. We did everything we could to make sure he wasn't our tenant. As I recall, the refrigerator was in pieces, and it also had cabinetry that had been installed in somewhere else. We don't have built-in refrigerators in our building. This was quite an old appliance, and it was in parts, as I recall. But I want to be clear, this was not our tenant, or when our tenants do something like this, as he did, we put a notice on his door, we called him, and if he didn't remove it, we removed it, and we charged his deposit for it. This was not our tenant. This was a guy at another building coming back to harass us. The door was not on the refrigerator, as I recall, but I don't have a photograph. I know there were pieces and parts of a refrigerator, as there were the cabinet it came out of.
Okay, I'd like to hear from the city attorney on this. I feel like there's sufficient evidence that this was an illegal dumping. However, I understand the safety issue of having a refrigerator sitting there for all that time. So can you address that?
Sure, thank you, Your Honor. Rana Montoya Hassan with the City Attorney's Office. Your Honor, as you've often heard people come before you and say it's not their trash, it's dumped from a neighbor, it's dumped, we don't even know how. Whether it's a disgruntled tenant or an unknown individual, and I think you have testimony presented by the inspector who said he did his due diligence, he did not find any identifying information on this particular refrigerator and cabinetry. So, the speculation that it's a prior disgruntled tenant in the city's view is just that, it's speculation. And again, Your Honor often hears from property owners saying, of course, it's not our trash that we're putting out. We have no idea whose trash it is. I think this is the exact same situation, and I think the supervisor's point is well taken on a safety issue. The issue would be, again, you put cameras or you do something, but I don't think just because an alleged disgruntled tenant dumps or may not dump, because again, that's complete speculation. You just leave a refrigerator out you know, on the swale and it looks like even partly in the road. I don't think that that's an excuse.
I guess
to
my
just
question
leave it
was,
there.
if there, you're correct that a lot of people come in front of me with claims of illegal dumping. If there's evidence of illegal dumping, is the fine then waived?
No, and it's the city's position that no, it's not. It's not relevant and legally relevant in terms of the code provision as to who put it there. The ownership of the items that are out, the bulk items that are out, is legally irrelevant under the code.
Your Honor, I'd like to see evidence that the door was on a refrigerator in front of the building. I'd like to see a photograph of that, because I don't recall that. I recall parts and pieces and a cabinet that wasn't from the building. I don't understand why this is speculation. I can give you another code enforcement case. Inspector Sambert is here, who's involved in that one. We have a police detective involved, and that report number. We have proof of who's been doing this. We certainly have proof. I'd be happy to furnish my letter to his current landlord explaining the whole history and provide documents and photographs of this before and after he left. How does that get to be speculation? I have grandchildren in the city. I don't leave stuff around that's dangerous for children. So somehow I'm becoming the bad actor here and being penalized for malicious acts by someone else who we now have proof, and the police and code enforcement have both contacted him about this. And somehow I'm a bad actor. I gotta say, Your Honor, I appreciate what these gentlemen are doing, but it seems to be almost a bureaucratic stand we're making, and to heck with what's fair to the citizens of this community who do their best to run a business here, treat their tenants well, keep their property well. How many complaints do you have on any property I own about code enforcement other than the one I made about illegal dumping? Zero.
Anything else from the city?
I'd be happy to give Your Honor these pictures, letters, photographs, the case numbers. I don't think this is speculation.
What I'm hung up on is that even if you prove there's illegal dumping, what I'm being told is that you are still responsible as a property owner. It's unfortunate, but people come before me all the time with someone else did it and dumped it on my property. Why should I have to pay for it? And I understand that. However, that's the way the code is written, that the property owner is ultimately responsible to remove it. It was placed there. There was a notice put on. They came back in 2 days. It was still there. They scheduled removal, and they're asking for their costs back. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to fine for the city, even though I sympathize with your situation.
Let me ask you this, Your Honor. Does it matter that it's on the street, as the gentleman testified, or the sidewalk in front of the building, not actually on my property or in my parking lot? Or is this, can I dump this in the middle of the street out here and now it's the city's trash?
If I may address that, ma'am. Per
Sure.
the city's code, the property owner is responsible for all abutting adjacent right-of-ways on their properties. So therefore, you would be responsible, because that is typically where you would place pickup for bulk or your trash carts and so on.
So if it falls off a truck in the street in front of my house, that's my trash.
You would be responsible for it, and as long as you remove it, there wouldn't be an issue.
I can't believe there isn't a discretion provided in the law or the code to allow a fine for something caused by someone else to be waived. I really don't. And I'll be honest with you, the $250 is not a huge number, but it's the principle of this whole thing and the repetitive behavior and the time and money. I've had to haul his trash before myself. This is not right, Your Honor.
No, I sympathize with your position, but every time, you have no idea how many people come in front of me and say, it's not my trash, I didn't put it there.
I believe that, but do they bring you the photographs? I've got the guy's letter here that came out of the trash in the most recent incident that's addressed to him at his current address. I've got multiple photographs of bulk trash that he left there and notices we gave him before he departed and of bulk trash he's left there after he departed, including the ones with his current name and address on it. That's why the police are involved. That's why code enforcement, am I being cited in the current case? I'd be happy to provide you that one. I made that complaint too. Am I being cited again? Inspector Sambert was out there.
That's not my case, Your Honor, so I have no idea.
It's certainly related.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Portia Williams, Assistant Director for Development Services Department. Sir, whenever we have anything that's dumped, we do an assessment. If there's ongoing dumping, even if you're not the person or your tenants are not the people that are doing the dumping, at some point the expectation from the city is that the property owner will remove the trash and not wait for the city to remove the trash. And so that's why years ago we changed our process to not allow discretion, because people were taking advantage of the fact that the city was removing the trash and not placing the responsibility on the owner.
I appreciate that. So in this case, the clerk at code enforcement told me it would be removed by the city. I would not be fined or charged, which is the reason I didn't have it move, as I had the prior incidents.
Okay. Do you know who it is that you spoke with?
No, I didn't take the clerk's name down.
Okay.
But if someone would have said, oh, by the way, if you don't move it, we're going to charge you $250, I could have had a guy who works for me move it for $50 and the dump fee. So, I'm not stupid. So acting on that advice and not having been told I had to file a police report to make it illegal dumping, which I don't believe appears in the city code anywhere or on any website, based on what I was told by the code enforcement department, I didn't have it hauled. I certainly would have for $50 in the dump fee. But I didn't, based on the advice I was given. And since the gentleman gave me the advice about calling the police, I've done that, and this time we've got a case on the guy because we have clear evidence of who did it. But it's the fourth incident.
Okay, perhaps there was a misunderstanding on whether or not he should remove it or whatever.
For sure.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna waive it for this time, but you are forewarned that it's your responsibility, whether you know who's doing it or not, it's your responsibility to remove it. And especially something that could endanger kids playing in the area or whatever. So
Fully.
I'm going to give you a benefit of the doubt today, but in the future, you will have the responsibility, like everybody else comes before me, whether it's dumped or not, to remove it.
Fully understood and appreciated, Your Honor. And appreciate also the gentleman from code enforcement and the police who are now helping me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 50. Captain Robert Kursarwich. Case number FC 200900010. Case address 17 South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. Owner Thor Gallery, a Beach Place LLC, in care of Ryan LLC, Davina Taveras. This case was first heard on 12/9/2020 to comply by 2/9/2021. There are 4 suspensions notated on the agenda. 1 section not complied at $250 per day, and this is a request for an extension.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Kursarwich, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, case FC 200900010 for the property address of 17 South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. As you recall, when this case was firstly brought forward before this board, there was a long laundry list of violations that were on this property, and at that time we had discussed that some of them would be able to come into compliance very quickly while others would take an extended period of time. Currently, right now, the only violation that is on the property is for F-111.1.3. The smoke control system has not been certified annually by a Broward County Test and Balance Company. For that process to take place, they've advised that the heart of that smoke control system is being operated by the fire alarm panel, and that is going to need to be replaced.
Okay.
This is a large entertainment complex. It's a very large fire alarm system, and they were going to have to pull permits in order to bring this property into compliance to install a new fire alarm system that would then control the smoke control system that's in there. Through that process, there would be changes to the sequence of operation of the smoke control system, and they would probably be eliminating at that point the 3 floors of retail that is in this structure and maintaining the smoke control system, probably for the parking garage areas and the high-rise structure in it. This is the only violation that still exists, and they are working towards compliance. Currently, right now, we do not even see a permit application for the fire alarm system. But if we go ahead and grant another 91-day time extension, since we've seen this list dwindle down to just this one violation that exists, I'm sure in that 91-day time frame, they'll be able to come back, report with the progress that they've made in bringing this property into full compliance.
Okay, so are you requesting an order to reappear in 91 days?
That is correct.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stephen Tilbrook, Ackerman Law Firm, on behalf of the property owner.
Good morning, sir.
We concur with the recommendation and request of the fire marshal.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 30. It is an administrative hearing. Inspector Wanda Aquavela, case number SE 21070264, case address 1300 Northwest 4th Avenue. Owner Magdalena Tileli. Is there a respondent for 1300 Northwest 4th Avenue? Our next case is on page 48. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 211-10041. Oh, no, I'm sorry, wrong case. Case number CE 211-10037. Case address 2325 Northwest 14th Court. Owners Paulette Archer and Cavell Miller. This case is in compliance, and the inspector is requesting a finding of fact.
Good morning. My name is Paulette Archer.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm just going to wait to hear from the inspector, and then we'll see what we can do for you.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting KCE 211-10037, reference to property 2325 Northwest 14th Court. This property was issued a citation on November 2nd, 2021 for the violation 9-306 for failure to register the residential rental dwelling within the city for landlord registration. As per stated by the clerk, the case right now is in compliance. The city's just requesting a finding of fact.
Okay. Excuse me, do you understand that we understand that you've now complied the case and there's going to be no fines, but he wants me to find a finding of fact that the violation did exist so that if it happens again, then you could be fined, okay?
You know what though, Mr. Garcia, I did register. I just couldn't retrieve my information. I didn't write down my password to retrieve I did like about the 8th of November, so I went back and redid it. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. You got nothing to worry about.
Okay, thanks. It's not a tenant place though.
Okay.
It's not tenanted.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not tenant. I did it, but it's not for tenants. It's for my son, but he drives out of town and they broke in there, so it's his friend and he stayed there. He's been there for years.
Your Honor, if I may just explain, so the landlord registration, the purpose of it is so we have means of contact with the actual property owner. Even though you don't specifically reside on the property, it's just a way for us to be able to get in contact with you just in case if in the future there's either an emergency or there's an issue going on the property, we have direct contact with the actual property owner or a responsible party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have
Thank
the
you, Your Honor.
finding of fact. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 41. Inspector Patrice Jolly. Sorry, our next two cases on page 41. Case number CE 211-20220, case address 3325 Northeast 14th Court, owner Carol Storms. This case was cited on 12/8/21 to comply by 12/8/21. One section complied at $1,000 per day. The case was complied on, which is incorrect on the agenda. The code officer just updated it. The case complied on 12/20/2021. Thus, the fine is $10,000. Also on page 41 is case number CE 211-20679, case address 3325 Northeast 14th Court, owner Carol Storms. This case was cited on 12/29/2021 to comply by 12/29/2021. One section not complied at $57,000. The city is requesting full amount. Were 2 citations issued to the property and no appeals received.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 211-20220 for the property located at 3325 Northeast 14th Court. This property was issued a citation on December 8th, 2021 for the following violation. 15-272.A, this property is being used as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. This is a repeat violation. Please see previous case, CE 2108-0058. The violation was complied on December 12th, 2021. No appeal was filed. The city is requesting the fines be imposed as read.
Okay, and the fines is $67,000, is that?
No, it's 10,000.
10,000, I thought,
10,000 on the first case, 57,000 on the second case.
okay.
They're two
I
separate
just
cases.
wanted to make certain I heard that correctly. Okay. Please state your name for the record.
Carol Storms.
Okay. Did you file an appeal in this matter?
I would like to submit a letter to the magistrate, which I've already given to the code enforcement officer. I've been trying to evict the tenants. This has nothing to do with my integrity, and it's been extremely excruciating dealing with these 2 individuals.
Unfortunately, without filing an
I
appeal.
will, but I've been trying to get them out.
Well, no,
Okay.
the appeal time ran.
You know,
You
Yeah.
can't file an appeal now.
Without filing the appeal, I'm going to give this back to you, because without filing the appeal, there's no way I can grant you relief in this matter, so.
Just wanted to appear like I did in October.
No, and I appreciate
it's excruciating, and you'll be seeing me again. But
Okay.
it's just, yeah,
Okay,
he knows what I'm going through.
all right, well, I appreciate that, and so what I would encourage you to do is to file for a lien reduction, and then I'll be happy to hear all the evidence about the tenant and try to
Well, hopefully they'll
give
be
some
out.
leniency. Okay,
Well,
all right, well, what about this next one?
The second case?
Yeah,
Okay, good morning, Your Honor. Again, Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Presenting case CE 211-20679 for the property located at 3325 Northeast 14th Court. This property was issued a citation on December 29th, 2021 for the following violation. 15-272.A, this property is being used as utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. This is a repeat violation. Please see previous cases, CE 2108-0058 and CE 211-20220. The
Okay.
violation remains as a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on February 23rd, 2022. No appeal has been filed. The fines continue to accrue.
okay, unfortunately, we're in the same situations, but I encourage you to file for lien reduction, and I'll be happy to hear out whatever you want to tell me, okay? Good luck.
There's also another case on page 41. Case number CE 211-20647. Case address 2817 North Atlantic Boulevard. Owner O'Brien Family Land Trust. This case was cited on 12/29/21 to comply by 1/13/22. One section complied at $200 per day. $600 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount. No appeals were received for the citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Patrice Jolly for the City of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case CE 2112-0647 for the property located at 2817 North Atlantic Boulevard. This property was issued a citation on December 29th for 2021 for the following violation. 15-272.A. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. This property came into compliance on January 17, 2021. No appeal was filed. The city is requesting that the fines be imposed as read.
Okay, same situation. This is your property as well?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so,
I didn't know about, the inspector knows, I have no idea about this one, so.
okay,
I'll file an appeal.
all right. Yeah, the problem is, and the reason I can't hear your evidence is because you did not file an appeal.
I just found out about it.
Okay, yeah.
I'll just have to take it up another way because I don't feel responsible. You know,
Okay, all right, so file for lien reduction along with the rest of them, and I will hear it at a later date.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 45, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia. Case number CE 21080754. Case address 2871 Northwest 18th Court. Owner, RTD Trust, Peduto LLC trustee. Case first heard 11/9/21 to comply by 12/21/21. One section not complied at $50 per day. $3,250 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
Good morning. My name is Sonia, and I'm the representative for RTT.
Wait, let me hear from the inspector first, so I know what the case is about.
Okay.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21080754, reference to property 2871 Northwest 18th Court. This case was first heard on November 9th, 2021, of which the magistrate found for the city. At this time, the property remains in violation as per the photos depict, and the city is requesting the imposition of fines to the sum of $3,250, which continue to accrue until the property has complied with all violations.
Okay, now you can state your name for the record.
Yes, Sonia Cuevas.
Okay, and why is this property haven't been brought into compliance?
Well, I want to clarify that there were three violations, which two of them has been complied.
Right.
But the owner initially had issues finding a reliable and competent vendor. And I just spoke to Mr. Garcia. Doing the driveway also requires permit. He was able to find a vendor who's willing to start this week. So we just like to obtain maybe like a pause on the fees and revisit the subject on 2 weeks, because the job will be done accordingly as long as all the permits, go in compliance.
Okay, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, how about I give you 28 days to complete it, and I'll pause the fines during that time.
Okay.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Our next case is on page 34, Senior Inspector Leonard Champagne, case number CE 211-20322, case address 5140 Northeast 18th Avenue, owner Kenyatta Frazier. This case was cited on 12/16/21 to comply by 12/31/21. One section complied at $200 per day, $8,000 accrued. City is requesting full amount and no appeal was received for this citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Leonard Champagne for the city. Case number CE 21120322 at address of 5140 Northeast 18th Avenue. This property was cited on 12/16/21 for 15272A. This property is being utilized as a vacation rental without the required certificate of compliance from the city. They were allowed 15 days to come into compliance, which would have been 12/31/21. The violation was complied on 2/10/22. As stated, the city is requesting the fines be imposed. There was no appeal also, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Jane Piatroni. I am here in behalf of Fraser, the owner.
Okay, was an appeal filed in this matter?
It was an appealed file in this matter, but everything was corrected and property was inspected on February 10th.
Okay, in light of the fact that an appeal was not filed, I have no alternative but to impose the fine.
We're advised that we need to appeal for this.
I
was in contact with Mr. Colon. He was giving me guidance. I have all the records of his email. Never was said that I need to appeal for anything. I applied for all the licenses are now correct. The BPR, tax, business, everything is in,
Okay.
this is the process, it's not that.
No, I
You can
appreciate the
get it
fact
in
that it's
15
not a
days.
simple process. And if you had filed a timely appeal, I could hear all this, but because you didn't, I can't. So what I would suggest you do is to file for a lien reduction, and I'll try and consider some leniency at that time.
So we do have to file an appeal.
No, you missed the appeal. What you need to file for, if you want to try to get a lien reduction, is you need to file for a lien reduction.
Your Honor, we can give her the paperwork for that, and I'll explain it to her further.
I appreciate that. Thank
lobby.
you.
Thank
you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 30. It's an administrative hearing. Inspector Wanda Aquavela, case number SE 211-10252, case address 565 West Dayton Circle, owner Evelyn Brown.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wanda Aquavella for the city. Case and address is read. The property was cited on 11/24/21. Pictures were taken. The notice was posted. We went back on 11/29/21. The trash was still there. We returned on 11/30/21 and picked it up. I've received no phone calls.
Okay, please state your name for the record.
I'm Evelyn Brown.
Can you talk into the microphone, please?
I'm Evelyn Brown.
Okay, what do you want to tell me in support of your appeal?
I would like you to know that on the 11/24 at 8 a.m. I get home after 16 hours of work and I found a notice on my door. I was called back to go back to work, so I went back to work. I came home on the 25th, 11/25th, and I did work on cutting the branches, which the landman mowed the lawn and leave it there. And I tried to cut as much as I can put it in the trash can. I had 2 limbs left there when I saw one of your associates that went there trying to pick it up.
Anything else from the city?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna fine for the city.
I try my best, Your Honor. I work 16 and 17 hours and,
I understand this, but this, I mean, how many days was it between citation?
From the 24th to the 30th.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I could do with that. Thank you very much.
11/25th, sorry, Your Honor. On the 11/25th, I did try to cut the limbs of the branches and put it in the trash can as much as I can put. There were only 2 limbs that leave out there. I had no place to put it. And then I had to go back to work.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have to fine for the city in this one.
In the future, call the inspector on the bottom of the notice. See if something can be worked out.
I did call. I spoke with your associate. I have her name down that I spoke with, and I let her know what was going on and my hours of work. I did. You see? And I wrote her a letter also. Yes, I did. I called and I wrote a letter pertaining to. You didn't call me though. I don't know. I called. I spoke with her. I spoke with her.
In the future.
Not knowing much. I'm sorry.
Okay, next case.
Our next case is on page 1.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do apologize.
Thank you.
Captain Robert Kasarwich. Case number FC 21110017. Case address 712 Northwest 57th Street. Owner JJ Auto LLC. Property posted 2/2/22. Posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Kisarwich, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office, here for case FC 211-10017, property address 712 Northwest 57th Street. Property was cited in reference to NFPA 1, 43.1.7.1. The spray booth does not have fire suppression system consistent with NFPA 1, Chapter 43. Currently, right now, they have two permits, one for the installation of the booth and one for the fire suppression system. So this one is moving along and progressing in the right direction. We're requesting 63 days or $100 a day thereafter.
Sir, please state your name.
My name is Jose Mejia.
Okay. Are you in agreement with 63 days?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All
And
right.
actually, the only thing left to do is to install a switch, and the electrician is supposed to be there tomorrow. This is the contract that we got signed with the electrician.
Very good. So you should have plenty of time to get that
Yes.
finished. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Our next case is on page 36. Inspector Evan Oakes, case number CE 211-20432, case address 1317 Northeast 4th Avenue, owner Agape Church of God, Inc. This case was cited on 12/17/21 to comply by 12/27/21. One section complied at $250, $2,250 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount. No appeal was received for this citation.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case CE 211-20432, property address 1317 Northeast 4th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on December 17, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-1, complied. A citation was issued and additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the violation has been complied as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting the full amount of the fines to be imposed. There was no appeal submitted.
Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Pierre Petit Frere, and I'm the pastor of the church.
Okay. And Pastor, did you file an appeal in this case?
I did not know until I came to the hearing today.
Yeah. Under the circumstances, I don't have the discretion to waive the fine. I have to impose the fine, but you can take advantage of the legal reduction program if you so desire.
I do.
Thank you.
So tell me what to do.
Our next case is on page 20, Inspector Boverick Xantis, case number CE 211-10684, case address 1100 Northwest 15th Avenue, owner Lysimako Guzman Ventimala, property posted 2/10/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Xantis on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 21-11-0684, property address 1100 Northwest 15th Ave. This property was first inspected on November 20th, 2021 by Inspector Evan Oakes, and the following violation were discovered. Violation 18-12A is in compliance. Violation 47-34.1.8.1 is also in compliance. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and a well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell area. Violation 9-280H1, the fence at this property is not being maintained as required. It is bent and there are some missing parts. Violation 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paints. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February the 10th, 2022. At this time, the city is requesting 42 days to correct all violation or a fine of $25 per violation for each day thereafter.
Please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Janet Larrondo.
are you in agreement to bring the rest of the property into compliance within 42 days?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
No,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Our next case is on page 31. It's an administrative hearing. Inspector Wanda Aquavela, case number SE 211-00285. Case address 1010 Southwest 30th Street. Owner Mitchell Schaefer.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wanda Aquavilla for the city again. Case and address is read. The property was cited on 10/28/21. Notice was posted, pictures were taken. We returned on 11/1/21. Trash was still there. Sent our guy, he went on 11/2/21 and picked it up. I received no phone calls.
Okay. Sir, please state your name for the record.
Mitchell Schaefer.
Mr. Schaefer, what do you want to tell me in support of your appeal?
I didn't really know what I did wrong. I trimmed the trees. I had the trees trimmed and I put them out. I think I put them out like 6 days before bulk trash. And, yeah, I didn't know, I don't live there. So I didn't know there was a notice on it. So I didn't know anything. And I was just, you know, this is the first time I ever, I thought that was okay. You put bulk trash, I know bulk trash, you put it out a couple days before. I think it was 5 or 6 days before ahead of time. So I was hoping for some leniency, ma'am, on the fine. It's $435 and I just trimmed some trees. I'm trying to make the place look better.
Yeah. Anything else from the city?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You know, unfortunately, you know, because the city has to come out and pick up this trash,
Bulk trash was like bulk trash was the next day. They came out and picked up a day before bulk trash.
well, sometimes it happens that way if they notice it and they have to give you time to clean it up yourself and then they have to order it picked up.
What is the law? I mean, how many days ahead of time can you put it out? I put it out like 6 days.
I'll let you talk to the inspector after the hearing and she can tell you what the process is. Okay, there's nothing I can do, sir. Finding for the city.
$435 for some.
Yeah, I understand that, but it is your property and you were noticed properly, posted on the, and it was not picked up in time, so the city had to incur the cost to pick it up.
Okay.
All right. Any
Thank
more
you.
cases?
Yes, however, the respondent just stepped outside. If we can get her. Patrice, can you let Courtney know that her case is now? Yes.
If she needs a minute, we can do a 5-minute break. Oh.
Our next case is on page 33. Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne, case number CE 21090338, case address 501 Orton Avenue, owner Grand Palm Plaza LLC. This case was first heard on 10/28/21 to comply by 12/2/21. 2 sections not complied at $50 per day, $8,400 accrued. 1 section complied at $100 per day, $6,000 accrued. A total of $14,400 accrued. This is requesting full amount and fines continue to accrue.
Good morning again, Senior Inspector Cologne with the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number is CE 21090338. The case address is 501 Orton Avenue. This property was first inspected on September 15th, 2021 by myself, along with Inspector Flores. And it was heard by the magistrate on October 28th, 2021, where the magistrate found for the city to comply the violations by December 2nd, 21. I conducted a pre-hearing inspection yesterday on the 23rd, and I saw that the 2 of the violations still remained. The parking lot 47-20.20H and 9306 still had some work to do to the exterior, including the soffits. So at this point, the city's requesting a full imposition of fines, which continues to accrue.
Okay, Ms. Crush, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Courtney Crush on behalf of Grand Palm Plaza. Your Honor may recall that this is was a vacant building where the fence had openings and next to a pool that was unsafe. The fence has been completely repaired. That is the one violation with the $6,000 that Inspector Cologne indicated has been complied. We have moved in one of the owner's employees there to keep, the trash, and I understand the parking area looks a little tired, and I now understand from the inspector that while there was the repair work done to the building, openings were all completely closed. A couple of soffits need to be fixed, but we certainly have come a long way. Now that I understand what needs to be done. The property has an open renovation permit. Not sure what the ultimate use is going to be, but did want Your Honor to know that, this is now, in my opinion, not an unsightly or an unsafe property.
Okay, and what are you requesting?
If Your Honor would consider it, would you consider allowing us to reappear the next time you would be sitting? It looks like these things could be handled pretty painlessly.
Okay, I'm going to give you 28 days in order to reappear.
Very much appreciate it, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
We're going to have a brief recess. February 24th, 2022. Our next case is on page 1, Captain Robert Kasarich. Case number FC 211-20011. Case address 1600 Southeast 17th Street, Common. Owner 1600 17th LLC. Property posted 2122, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Captain Robert Sarge, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office. For case number FC 211-20011, property address 1600 Southeast 17th Street. Property residing reference to NFPA 1, 13.2.3.1. The standpipe is not being maintained in at least the same level of performance and protection as designed. I spoke with property management. Currently, right now, they have an inspection scheduled for March 7th. We're requesting 28 days or $100 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 2, case number FC 211-20012, case address 2881 Northeast 32nd Street. Owner Waterside on the Intracoastal Condo. Property posted 232022, posted at City Hall 21022.
And Captain Robert Gasarowicz, Fort Lauderdale Fire Marshal's Office for case FC 211-20012. Property address 2881 Northeast 32nd Street. Property site in reference to NFPA 1, 13.2.3.1. Standpipe is not being maintained in at least the same level of performance and protection as designed. And NFPA 1, 4.5.8.1. The fire alarm is not functioning as designed and installed. I've had no contact with anybody at the property. We're going to request 28 days or $100 a day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 5. Inspector Gustavo Caracas, case number CE 211-20018, case address 404 Northwest 1st Avenue. Owner 404 NW1 LLC, property posted 12522, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Caracas for the city of Fort Lauderdale, presenting case number CE 211-20018 for the property located at 404 Northwest 1st Avenue. Inspection of the property was performed on December 1st of 2021, and the following violations were observed. 47-20.20.H. The parking facility is not being maintained at this property. Resurfacing and restriping is required. 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and on its swale. Notification was mailed to the property owners as listed on BCPA via first-class mail on December 1st, 2021, allowing 10 days to come into compliance. Contact has not been made with any representative, owner, or tenant. Special magistrate request form was sent on December 16 of 2021 and scheduled for today's special master. Pre-hearing inspection was done on February 22nd of 2022, and the pictures presented here were taken to confirm that violations have not been brought into compliance. The city is requesting the following, ma'am. 35 days to come into compliance or a daily fine of $100 for each of the violations that exist. The photos are submitted into record for evidence.
Okay, so ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Our next case on page 5, Senior Inspector Dorian Cologne, case number CE 211-00441, case address 423 Mola Avenue, owner Kohara Hunter, property posted 11322, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning, Senior Inspector Cologne for the City of Fort Lauderdale. Case number CE 211-00441, case address 423 Mola Avenue. This property was first inspected on October 13th, 21 by Inspector Flores, and the following violations were observed. 9280B, there are building parts, garage door, and wooden siding which are deteriorated and not maintained. 9306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts including fascia and soffits are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains, missing, peeling paint. 9304B, the gravel driveway is not well graded or maintained. Grass has covered majority of the gravel. 9-280H1, the supporting frame of the chain link gate leading to the garage is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. 9305A has been complied. 9313A has been complied. Your Honor, I spoke with the owner via telephone. She currently resides in the state of Cincinnati, in Cincinnati, not the state, sorry. She is unable to attend because of personal reasons. And I did check permitting, and there is a permit in process for a complete demolition.
Okay,
So once the demo is completed, most of those violations will be complied. And then she also let me know that the grass has already been ordered to, finish the vacant lot process.
okay.
So the city is not opposed, or is requesting 91 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per violation thereafter.
Okay, great, so ordered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next case is on page 6. Inspector Bernstein Sambert. Case number CE 211-10333. Case address 5550 Northwest 12th Avenue. Owner DL Seeker Properties LLC. Property posted 2222. Posted at City Hall 21022.
Officer Bernstein Sandberg, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case number CE 2111-0333, property address 5550 Northwest 12th Ave. This property was inspected for our area project on November 10th, 2021 by Area Inspector Flores and was cited for the following violations. 9-305B, the landscape on the soil is not being maintained. There is dead or missing grass on the swell along Northwest 56th Street. Due to non-compliance on February 2nd, 2022, the notice of hearing was posted on the property. A pre-hearing inspections reveal the violation stated is not in compliance. I would like to enter the photos as evidence that shows violations as depicted. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 10. Case number CE 201-00901 is withdrawn. Our next case, Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 21060623, case address 2831 Southwest 14th Street, owner Ashley Farringer. This case received personal service on 2/10/22 and was posted at City Hall on 2/10/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 21060623, reference the property 2831 Southwest 14th Street. This property was initially cited on June 23rd, 2021 for the violations 24-27B, which has been withdrawn. 9-304B, there are vehicles parked on the grass lawn area. In addition, the driveway on the property requires maintenance. The driveway is not maintained in a smooth, well-graded condition and is not a hardened, dustless surface. 18-4C, there's a derelict vehicle stored on the property. 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, and debris on the property and or its well. Communication was initially made with Jacob, who identified as the spouse of the owner, in regard to the violations. A reinspection was made on February 19, 2022 and found that the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. Due to the findings, the city is requesting 91 days to comply for a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 11. Senior Inspector Manny Garcia, case number CE 211-20103, case address 100 Southwest 6th Street, owner New River Property Owner LLC in care of Silverback Developers, property posted 2/10/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia, case CE 2112-0103, reference the property 100 Southwest 6th Street. This property was initially cited on December 3rd, 2022 for the violation 18-1. There's graffiti on the screens at the fence of the property that is creating a public nuisance. It is being maintained in such a manner that the property is or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of the adjacent properties. No communication has been obtained from the property owner or representatives at this time. A reinspection of the property was performed on February 10th, 2022, and found that the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. The city is requesting 21 days to comply or a fine of $100 per day for the violation thereafter.
So ordered.
Page 11, case number CE 211-20104, case address 604 Southwest Flagler Avenue. Owner New River Property LLC in care of Silverback Developers. Property posted 21022, posted at City Hall 21022.
Your Honor, for the record, Senior Officer Garcia presenting case CE 2112-0104 in reference to property 604 Southwest Flagler Ave. This property was initially cited on December 3rd, 2022 for the violation 18-1. There's graffiti on the screens of the fence at this property, which is creating a public nuisance. It has been maintained in such manner that the property is or may adversely affect and impair the economic welfare of adjacent properties. No communication has been obtained from the property owner or representatives at this time. Reinspection of the property was performed on February 10, 2022, and found that the property remains in violation as per the photos depict. The city is requesting 21 days to comply or a fine of $100 per day thereafter.
So ordered. Thank you.
Our next case is on page 12, Inspector Bover Exantis, case number CE 211-00492, case address 1500 Northwest 18th Court, owner Dash Projects, Inc. This case received notice by appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Inspector Exantis, presenting case number CE 1705-17. Case and address as read by the clerk. The case was first heard on December 9, 2021. The magistrate ruled in favor of the city, and the property owner was requested 28 days to correct a violation. At this time, violation is in compliance, and the city is requesting all fine to be imposed.
You're reading what case are you reading?
I'm sorry.
Which case are you reading?
On page 12.
Page 12. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I do apologize. Case number CE 2110-0492. Property address 1500 Northwest 18 Court. This property was first inspected on October 16, 2021, and the following violations were discovered. Violation 18-12A. There's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, debris on this property and its well. The city is requesting 35 days for this violation or a fine of $100. Violation 9-308B, there's trash, debris, and other elements which is not permanent to the roof. The city is requesting 126 days for that violation or a fine of $100 for each day thereafter. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead, missing ground cover, including the soil areas. The city requesting 35 days for this violation or fine $100 for each day thereafter.
So ordered.
I'm sorry, Inspector Exantis, can you move to the middle podium just so that you're still in view because our technician had to step away? Thank you. Our next case is on page 13. Case number CE 210-90005, case address 1300 Northwest 14th Court, owner Duque FL LLC. Property posted 2422, posted at City Hall 21022.
Morning again, Your Honor. Case and address as read by the clerk. Property was first inspected on September 3rd, 2021, and violation was discovered. Violation 18-12A, there's overgrowth, trash, rubbish, debris on this property and its well. Violation 18-1 is complied. Violation 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained, such as windows and doors. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Violation 9-305A is complied. Violation 9-280H1, the fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. The fence is bent, leaning, and support bar is missing. Violation 24-27 is in compliance. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February 4th, 2022. And the pre-hearing inspection was conducted on February 19th, 2022, revealed as depicted in the photos, and the city is requesting 35 days to correct all violation or a fine of $50 for each violation each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 15. Inspector Bovrig Xantus, case number CE 211-00402. Case address 1201 Northwest 11th Court, owner Asset Equity Holdings LLC. Property posted 2422, posted at City Hall 21022.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Property case and address as read by the clerk. This property was first inspected on October 10th, 2021, and the following violations were discovered. Violation 47-34.4.B.1 is complied. Violation 47-34.1.A.1. There's illegal land use occurring at this property, including but not limited to chairs, table, PVC, and woods pallets, which is prohibited in this RS8 zoning. Violation 9-304B, there are vehicles parked on the grass lawn area. The paved driveway has cracked holes, including the asphalt driveways, also need to be maintained. And the paved driveway needs to be painted as well. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell area. Violation 9-280H1, the fence at this property, the chain link fence at this property is in disrepair and is not being maintained as required. It is bent, rusted, and disconnected parts. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February 4th, 2022. The city is requesting 35 days to correct all violation or a fine of $50 per violation for each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case, case number CE 190905551. Case address 441 Northwest 9th Avenue. Owner, Nor Development Group LLC. Property posted 2522, posted at City Hall 21022.
Inspector Exensis, on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case and address as read. This property was first inspected on October 10th, 2021, and the following violation was discovered. Violation 47-21.9.M. This undeveloped parcel of land is not being maintained, which required living ground cover. Notice of hearing was posted on property on February 5th, 2022. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted February 17th, 2022. Revealed violation remain as depicted in the photos. City is requesting 21 days for violation to be complied, or a fine of $50 per violation each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 17. Inspector Bovrig Xantus, case number CE 211-00488. Case address 1219 Chateau Park Drive. Owner 700 Sutherland LLC. Property posted 2422, posted at City Hall 21022.
Inspector Exentis here on behalf of the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, case and address as read. This property was first inspected October 16, 2021, and the following violations were observed. Violation 9-280F is complied. Violation 280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained, including but not limited to tile in the bathtub, which are stained, rusted. Interior walls are also stained and have missing peeling paint. Violation 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia boards, are stained and dirty. There are areas of the exterior that have stained and missing peeling paint. Violation 9-304B, the approach gravel driveway is not well maintained. The gravel is worn through. Grass and weeds are going through it. Violation 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover, including the swell area. Notice of hearing was posted on property on 2/4/2022. Pre-hearing inspection was conducted on 2/16/2022. Revealed all violation remain as depicted in the photos. City is requesting 42 days to correct all violation or a fine of $50 per violation each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 17, case number CE 211-00436, case address 1107 Northwest 11th Court, owner Dare Jor 1107 LLC, property posted 2/3/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22. Case number CE 211-00436, case address 1107 Northwest 11th Court.
Thank you. Case and address as read. This property was first inspected on October 14, 2021, and the following violations were discovered. Violation 18-12A is complied. Violation 9-306 is complied. Violation 9-18-1 is complied. Violation 9-305B. The landscape at this property is not being maintained in the neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead, missing ground cover, including the swell area. Violation 9-304B, the gravel driveway is worn through and the asphalt driveway has cracked, stain, and the blacktop is faded. A notice of hearing was posted on property on February 4th, 2022, and a pre-hearing inspection was conducted on February 16, 2022. Reveal all violation remained as depicted in the photos. City is requesting 42 days to correct all violation or a fine of $25 for each violation for each day thereafter.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 21. Inspector Evan Oakes. Case number CE 21080811. Case address 1729 Northwest 6th Avenue. Owner FYR SFR Borrower LLC in care of Havenbrook Homes. Property posted 1/29/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Good morning, Your Honor. Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale, Community Enhancement, presenting KCE 210-80811, property address 1729 Northwest 6th Avenue. This property was initially inspected on August 28, 2021 by Inspector Lopez, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. 9-308A complied. 9-304B complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-305B and 9-306 as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 22. Case number CE 21090763, case address 1816 Northeast 11th Avenue, numbers 1 through 6. Owner Oscar Derek Sanchez, property posted 1/28/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on September 30th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 9-306, the exterior of the structure is not maintained as required by code to include the fascia area, which is dirty. 9-304B, paved driveway is not well graded and or dust free. It has cracks and accumulates water. 18-12A complied. 9-313A complied. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-305B, 9-306, and 9-304B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 23, case number CE 211-00387, case address 1020 Northwest 5th Avenue, owner Catherine Singleton, Property posted 1/20/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on October 14th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-4C complied, 18-12A complied, 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained, structural parts including fascia, soffits are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. 47-34.1.A.1 complied. 9-304B, the parking area is not maintained in a well-graded, smooth condition and the striping is faded. 9-313A, the property is not identified by approved address numbers. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-306, 9-304B, and 9-13A as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 24, Inspector Evan Oaks, case number CE 211-10118. Case address 1344 Northwest 7 Terrace, numbers 1 and 2. Owner 1344 Northwest Land Trust, BBPO Group LLC trustee. Property posted 1/29/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on November 4th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A complied, 9-306 complied, 18-1 complied, 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17th, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-305B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 26, Inspector Evan Oaks, case number CE 211-10306, case address 1339 Northwest 2nd Avenue. Owners Oriole and Merlandi Emmanuel, property posted 1/28/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on November 12, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-4C complied, 18-12A, there's trash, rubbish, and debris on this property and or its swell. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 18-12A and 9-305B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 27, Inspector Evan Oaks, case number CE 211-10492, case address 1433 Northwest 7th Avenue. Owner Elsa Holdings LLC in care of Sam Tov Holdings. Property posted 1/28/22, posted at City Hall 2/10/22.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on November 17th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 18-12A complied. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained. The ceiling in the kitchen and bedroom has holes and cracks in it. The kitchen sink and cabinets have caved in. 9-306, the exterior building walls have not been maintained. Structural parts, including fascia and soffits, are in disrepair. There are areas of the exterior that have stains and missing peeling paint. The fascia area is in need of cleaning and or repainting. The exterior walls are in need of repainting as well. 9-304B, the gravel paved parking area at this property is not well maintained. The paved area has cracks and potholes in it. The gravel portion has grass, weeds growing through it, and is in need of re-graveling. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17th, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-280B, 9-306, 9-304B, and 9-305B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 63 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 28, Inspector Evan Oaks, case number CE 211-10489, case address 204 Northwest 16th Street, owner Blindy Turku, property posted 12822, posted at City Hall 21022.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on November 17, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover. 47-34.1.A.1 complied. 9-304B, gravel driveway is not well maintained and well graded. There's grass weeds growing through the gravel driveway. 9-280H1 withdrawn. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-305B and 9-304B as depicted in the photos. The city is requesting 28 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
So ordered.
Our next case, case number CE 211-20099, case address 1601 Northwest 3rd Avenue, owner Alejandro Segovia, property posted 12922, posted at City Hall 21022.
Code Compliance Officer Evan Oaks, City of Fort Lauderdale Community Enhancement, presenting case and property address as read by the clerk. This property was initially inspected on December 4th, 2021, and the following violations were observed. 9-305B, the landscape at this property is not being maintained in a neat and well-kept appearance. There are areas of dead and missing ground cover on the swell area. 9-304B, the gravel driveway apron approach area is in need of re-graveling and weeds need to be removed. The paved driveway parking area is in need of repainting. 9-280B, there are building parts which are deteriorated and not maintained. The roof has missing roof tiles. Additional inspections were conducted, including a pre-hearing inspection on Thursday, February 17, 2022, and the following violations remain. 9-305B, 9-304B, and 9-280B, as depicted in the photos. There are permits for property remodeling or waiting for the client to apply as of February 17, 2022, and the city is requesting 91 days to comply, or a fine of $50 per day per violation thereafter to be imposed.
How many days to apply?
91 days.
91. Okay, thank you.
On page 31, the citation appeal has been rescheduled to March 24th.
Okay.
Our next case is on page 33. Hearing to impose fines. Case number CE 211-20270, case address 636 Northeast 12th Avenue, owner Victoria Park at 12 LLC. This case was cited 12/9/21 to comply by 12/10/21. One section not complied at $150 per day. $11,400 accrued. This is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue, and no appeal was received for this citation.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 35, case number CE 210900575, case address 1309 Northwest 8th Avenue. The city is requesting to vacate the order imposing fines of February 8th, 2022, and close the case.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 36, case number CE 210800758, case address 1220 North Andrews Avenue, owners Gary Paulson Trust. Case first heard 12/9/21 to comply by 113/22. One section not complied at $25 per day, $1,050 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 37, case number CE 22010439, case address 900 Northwest 17th Avenue. Owner David Kadar, Shal Kadar, in care of Benny Dairy. This case was cited 1/20/22 to comply by 1/21/22. One section complied at $200 per day, $2,000 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeal was received for this citation.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 38, case number CE 21050916, case address 15 Northwest 7th Street, owner Blue River Realty LLC. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/31/22. Two sections complied at $50 per day, $2,700 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
So ordered.
Case number CE 21050920, case address 708 Northwest 1st Avenue, owner Blue River Realty LLC. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/13/22. Two sections complied at $50 per day, $2,700 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 39, case number CE 21080444, case address 1500 Northwest 12th Street, owner Harrison FLA LLC. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/6/22. One section complied at $25 per day, $775 accrued, and the city is requesting full amount.
So ordered.
Case number CE 200-20156, case address 1770 Lauderdale Manor Drive, owner Llewellyn Ayton. This case was first heard on 2/28/21 to comply by 12/9/21. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $7,700 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 40, case number CE 21090079, case address 1712 Northwest 15th Avenue, owner SFR 12 Miami owner 1 LP. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/13/22. Four sections not complied at $25 per day. $4,200 is accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 42. Case number CE 22010337, case address 1425 Southwest 8th Court. Owner David and Sarah Goldberg, Joshua and Erica Trutt. This case was cited on 1/18/22 to comply by 1/18/22. One section complied at $400 per day, $400 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed and no appeals received for this citation.
So ordered.
Case number CE 22010192, case address 214 Southwest 2nd Street, owner Second City Entertainment Co. This case was cited on 1/7/22 to... I'm sorry, say again? You tomorrow, on the top of it? 214? If no appeal was received, there's not a, yeah. Case number CE 22010192. This case was cited on 1/7/22 to comply by 1/14/22. One section not complied at $150 per day, $6,150 accrued. The city is requesting full amount be imposed, and fines continue to accrue, and no appeals received for this citation.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 43. Case number CE 21030781, case address 2420 Northwest 31st Avenue, owner Growing Smart Development, Inc. This case was first heard on 6/8/21 to comply by 1/6/22. One section complied at $100 per day. $3,300 accrued, and the city is requesting no fines.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 45. Case number CE 21080728, case address 1720 Northwest 25th Terrace, owner 1720 Northwest 25th Terrace, Fort Lauderdale Land Trust, and all others. This case was first heard on 12/9/21 to comply by 1/6/22. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $4,900 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case on page 46, case number CE 19050818. Case address 2329 Northwest 14th Court, owners K&J Divine LLC. This case was first heard on 2/6/2020 to comply by 3/13/2020. Suspended 3/16/2020 to 9/4/2020. Two sections not complied at $50 per day. $54,200 accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue.
So ordered.
Our next case is on page 48. Case number CE 211-10041. Case address 2329 Northwest 14th Court, owner K&J Divine LLC. This case was cited on 11/2/21 to comply by 11/17/21. One section not complied at $250 per day. $24,750 has accrued. The city is requesting full amount fines continue to accrue and no appeals received for this citation.
So ordered.
The city would like to enter pages 51 and 52 into today's hearing. It is the city's list of complied, closed, withdrawn, and rescheduled cases.
So ordered.
This concludes the special magistrate hearing agenda for February 24th, 2022.
Thank you, everyone.